What's up, everybody? This is StoryHive on location in Vancouver with Vancity. Beats, eats,
and more.
Mike, a little too fast here. Let's try one more time.
Right.
This is Vancity. Beats, eats, and more with Kazi. I'm joined today by DJ Static, aka Mike.
What's going on?
We're hanging out with him here at his place, Vancouver-based DJ and co-founder of WEFUNK Radio, one of the longest-running funk and hip-hop mix shows in the game that still broadcasts on Montreal CKUT 90.3 FM. From rocking park jams to playing festivals around the world, Static's been a steady force in the street dance and music community for over 2 decades, almost 3, with deep crates and deeper roots. He's here to share the sounds and stories that keep the culture alive. Let's welcome DJ Static on the show.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. Beautiful day out. Yep.
Yeah. Just before we went live, we were talking about how, amazing thing about this project where on this show, we've been able to interview the creatives of Vancity, people who really keep the heartbeat alive, and that it's been an opportunity to get to know people's stories on a deeper level because we see each other in community, we see each other at parties and events, but we never get to actually sit down and who are you?
Right. Here we are now.
And here we are now. Yeah. So I want to start off with, I guess, the very beginning of where are you from? When did you come here?
Yeah, well, it goes back almost 50 years. So it's a long story. Yeah, I'm from Hong Kong. My family moved here in '88. Musically, I started playing, I think, in junior high because one of my friends had turntables at home. So it was we were messing around. He played school dances. I think the company became Master Plan. And then I moved to Montreal in '95, and that's really where things got rolling. We started WeFunk in '96. We were first-year university students at McGill.
Yeah.
And that's been going till now. So 30 years next year.
Yes, which is huge, dude.
Yeah.
To keep anything going for that long.
No, yeah. It's like a lifetime and a half. It's pretty amazing.
So how old were you then when you moved here in 88?
Oh, I was 11.
Okay.
Did high school here and then university, Montreal.
What was the first time that you can remember when you fell in love with hip hop?
Man, tapes. Kids in elementary school, the end of elementary school, were passing me tapes. I still have some over there. Like dub tapes, like Boogie Down Productions, Ice-T, stuff like that. So and it's crazy because I didn't speak English then, so I was just mouthing the lyrics without knowing what it meant.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot. I didn't go to ESL school. It was tough. My parents put me in a straight English school, regular. But I think thanks to the music, I kind of picked up pretty fast.
Did somebody introduce you to the tape, or was
the other kids were passing me the tapes. Yeah.
And it was just something that was playing, and you're like, "What is this?"
Yeah. It just it was it. Yeah, you got it.
Whoa.
Yeah, a couple of these. Yeah, because I grew up, my parents, it's not a typical hip-hop story. My parents, my dad mainly listened to music, my mom less so. He just listened to classical. Yeah. So it's just Beethoven, Mozart, music, Brahms, all of my childhood till 11. And then this whole world opened up when I came over. So, yeah.
And during that time here in Vancity, musically speaking, what was around?
What was around? QLC was around, Crispy Biscuit. Okay. And that completely just changed the game for me. It's not only was it a mix show, and there was no other not too many in Canada at the time. It was also one of the best.
This is a radio show?
Yeah.
Okay, what?
In Vancouver.
What frequency did that play on?
That was on Co-op Radio, 102.7.
Okay.
Yeah, he's less active now, but I think he just set off a whole movement. I know people that my generation just grew up on that and listened religiously. 2-hour show is on a school night. We would tape it with a 2-hour tape.
Yes.
Starting at midnight, flip it at 1, if I remember.
What? Okay, for anyone who doesn't know what on earth you're talking about technologically speaking, because people are like, what do you mean? Don't you just open the Spotify app and press play? Can you explain what this is?
Yeah, it's an FM radio show.
Yes.
It was a live mix show. They had
By live mix, they're actually DJing on the show.
Live by Pigeon Park.
Okay.
Co-op radio, and they got crazy stories too. I think, they would run late. They're like one of the last shows on the schedule, so they can go on till 4 or 5 if they have a live cipher, like Mocha only. People like would show up, Rascals, and just the legendary show. Definitely like.
Do you have any of those tapes recorded?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, that's
They're
crazy.
all over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so essentially what he's explaining is that there's a blank cassette tape that you could buy that could only record a certain duration of time.
Yeah.
And that's what you meant by you had to flip
The
it.
longest was probably like a 2-hour tape with 1 hour on each side.
Yes. So when it would run out, then you had to quickly flip it and keep recording if you wanted to record the 2-hour show.
The live radio show, yeah.
That is
a lot of people did that. I think
Yeah.
similarly, like Stretch and Bobito, people in New York did
Yes.
that. But for me, it was the Chris Biscuit show on CFRO.
Okay. And then how did you want to start, like, how did you know you wanted to start getting into DJing?
Man, a lot of it is just like kind of where life took me. I like my friend in junior high. It was like it wasn't really a conscious thing. Like we were friends, the turntable was around, so I just started messing around. And listening to the show was a big inspiration. And then moving to Montreal, just like I started linking up with like different promoters, event organizers, the street dance community, and it just kind of I just landed in the right place at the right time. At that time, there's like I guess people like go back to the 80s. There's a strong kind of street dancing in Montreal, and then it dipped, and then revival. By the time I showed up around mid 90s, it was like really picking up steam. So it just fell into place. They needed a DJ. I did a lot of the events for like a 10-year stretch out there.
You got to be in the golden era of hip hop. Did y'all call it that then? Like, did you know that it was that then?
No, like in the moment, like looking back now that I've done music for such a long time, it's everything was just going with the flow. I never really, like, especially the radio show. It was like nobody listened to us. Like it was a small, like 2 college kids doing. Our first slot was 4 to 7 a.m. right before class.
Oh my gosh!
Like we just did it because we
so
wanted
early.
to. I know.
You're like, I don't want to get up for class or to study,
I
but I will for the radio show.
You know? Everything was just, with no expectations. We just did it because we wanted to. Or, everything on my end anyways. Just shout out to my WEFUNK partner, Nick, too, Professor Groove.
Yeah. How did you guys meet?
Man, how did we meet? We got paired up randomly at CKUT. They had training shows at that time, 15 minutes, play a song, do the weather, announcements, and you're out, just to get your feet wet. And we got paired up randomly. And then we found out this was 96, right? So hip-hop still was super sample-based.
Yeah.
He played funk, and I played hip-hop. Like, let's do a show that bridges the two styles. And that's pretty much, and we just never look back. That's what we do up to this day.
Why WEFUNK?
It's a shout out to Parliament Funkadelic, of course. It's just a mythical radio station. WEFUNK, a lot of the call letters were W's in the States. So it's just borrowing from that and paying homage to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a special place in my heart for George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic.
Right.
Because in my first introduction to funk, it was, I might have told this story on the show before, but it was me going to, in Fantan Alley in Victoria, that like between 2 buildings in Chinatown. Have you ever walked through there?
I got it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so Chinatown in Victoria, which this show will be going to Victoria soon, FYI. And actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, I should try to interview the guy from this record shop. So when you walk in through Fantan Alley, there is a record shop in there. And obviously music, other CDs, whatever. And I went in there and they were playing P-Funk. And I was like, who is this? And the guy who was working the shop was like, yeah, this is Parliament Funkadelic. And I was like, I love this. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, can you hook me up? And he's like, what kind of player do you have? I'm like, I got a CD player. And he's like, okay, how much money you got? I'm like, $40. And then he just loaded my hand with like James Brown, Fab Five Freddy, Parliament Funkadelic, War. Like, he gave me all of these different artists and was like, take this and listen to this. And I remember being at my cousin's house, like looking up on Wikipedia each of these artists, but like P-Funk, and going through their discography, I loved it the most, you know, and recognized also a lot of samples in hip hop from their music. And then eventually ended up going to a concert where I was like, yo, these guys still wear crazy costumes and outfits. Like, homeboy is old now and he's still rocking the diaper, like that look? Or like, what's up with the diaper? Okay. But anyway, long story short, is that Mothership Connection is one of my favorite albums. And I love that WeFunk is a reference to this.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Montreal, the show started. How did you start getting connected to the dance community specifically there?
It was all through one club night called Rock Deep. We did it on Tuesday nights at Club Saphir. We had Juju Crew, shout out Solid State Crew. Like they pretty much put on the night. Chameleon, Dana, I had a meeting, I still remember. They just approached us. Like at that time we were, just young DJs just starting out, me and Nick. And we met up with them. They said they want to do a street dance focused night. And it's me, Nick, Professor Groove, and a couple other DJs, Chiba Kid, Rossel. We were the weekly residents. And then everyone would come out. I still, like, up to this day, like, a lot of people that come through Vancouver, I talk with them, I reminisce about, like, just Rock Deep back around, we had a show, it wasn't the longest run, 2000 to 2005 maybe, but it really set the tone for, like, my sound. I think, who used to pass through? Oh, of course, Flow Rock used to come through a lot. DKC, Dazzle, I think Nubian Nene came through. Waukesha came through.
Yes.
Monster Pop came through. Just a lot of people, good dope dancers. Like that was like a starting point for a lot of people too. Like myself. So Spicy, Alex, shout out. Yeah, big influence on me for sure.
Yeah, and seeing the intersection of like dance and music coming together in the elements.
Yeah.
Like Under Pressure is a festival that I've always loved, and I don't think it happens anymore, does it?
Man, I don't.
You've been involved with that from before.
Yeah, I got old shirts in the closet too. Yeah, going back like 10, 15 years. Yeah.
What was the Montreal scene like then?
It was lively. I was like, man, I don't have the energy to gig that much. Like playing almost like 5 nights a week kind of thing. It was like
while being in university.
Yeah, there's a lot, and then I just did music after that too. So a lot of things popping off. I was lucky to be involved, like a lot of smaller battles. It was a very tight scene.
By doing music, you mean you started producing, or
No, never.
Okay.
I never branched out. I just stuck to DJing. Like, man, it's crazy because I don't even, technically, I'm not as sound as I like to be.
Yeah.
Like, I want to like hone that before I branch out to like a lot of people. Why don't you B-boy? I'm like, I'm almost 50. Like, I just want to perfect my DJing.
Yo, have you not seen Grand Monk?
No.
Do you know who I'm referencing?
No.
Red Bull BC1
okay.
recently.
Yeah.
Like, homegirl is also like, she's a grandma.
I might have
think.
seen that.
Yeah,
just a short clip of it.
She started breaking at like 40 something, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, no excuse.
And she
then.
entered Red Bull BC1 in the
That's
B-girl
wild.
category.
That's wild.
Yeah, they put her up on Stance Elements. It became a whole video thing on the
I saw
internet.
that.
Yeah, so we don't have any excuses, man.
No excuse.
We have no excuses.
Next interview,
Oh, but what aspect of, I guess, the DJing part, you know, that you have chosen to pursue and embody that you love the most? Like, why did that speak to you the most?
Just discovering new music. Like my career like in music is very different from most DJs. Like I approach it like from like because of WeFunk I've had to like just have a constant rotation of new music. Not like we play like hits and anthems like a lot of club DJs, right?
Right.
So
That's a totally different approach.
very different approach. And it's a blessing and a curse because it's a lot of work, but I do enjoy it.
Like the dig.
The dig, yeah. And people appreciate it. We're lucky because nowadays it like radio shows and streams and mixes online are very dime a dozen. But we started early enough that we have a decent following and people trust us week to week and come back. But I see like a lot of our guests, and we're blessed to have just a lot of people pitch in. It's definitely not about me and Nick. They add to the sound so much to just bring something new, and then we usually get the guest mix like a week before airing, and then we try to cook up something that complements the guest mix. Sometimes it's a challenge. It's like, oh, you're gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I want to kind of one up them in a way sometimes. So it keeps me on my toes, and it's fun week to week.
What do you think has been some of the best things that have come out of WeFunk and doing this show for almost 30 years?
Man, just like, yeah, linking up with legends that I basically I would go down to Seymour Street here in high school and buy tapes of like Lord Jazz from Lord Soul Underground, like Cash Money and Philly, like they're big fans, and yeah, I'm just blessed to count them as family now. It's they've come through with guest mixes, just yeah, people I grew up on, and just like was so removed from, and then finding the connection through a radio station. So it's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Whoa. And what has it taken for you to do something consistently for 30 years? Like,
maybe I'm not a real artist. I'm not that. I'm very consistent. Like I find a lot of like my artist friends. Like it's hard to keep something. It's very monotonous. You need to get in a rhythm and have a certain discipline, kind of thing. Yeah, it's doing the show is. It's not easy, but I just worked it into my routine. Basically, I have a rhythm week to week. Like this morning, I had my Zoom with Professor Groove. We recorded the opening talk for next week. We got the submission. I do the guest bookings. We got everything worked out after a lot
30
of years.
1,250
is our latest show. Yeah.
Episodes.
Yes.
That is nuts. This is only our 93rd interview, and I thought that was a lot.
It's not a competition.
It's not. It's totally different mediums, too. We get it, okay? But still, like, that really put things in perspective for me, where I'm like, man, putting in your, quote-unquote, the 10,000 hours, you know, when you're able to create something consistently, that's, like... I don't know. I admire that level of discipline, especially coming from somebody who's like such a fluid nomad in how I live my life.
Yeah, we have had changes and stuff, but we managed to roll with it. That's the biggest being me leaving Montreal. Like we were an in-studio radio show for the longest time, and then I left, and that's when I started pre-recording my sets here, giving it to Nick, and he would air it on FM. And then COVID hit, and everything was shut down. The studio was not operating. The station told us to pre-record everything, and just they would air it. And then we started going even more kind of online after that. And our guests, now we have guests from all around the world. So it's not, in the early years, like people would come through the studio and do really sick like sessions, like D-Styles from
Toronto?
No, these styles, Scratch Pickles. He was passing through. He did a live set. Man, Lone Catalyst. We had Prince Poe from Organized Confusion.
Wow.
Like we used to have like live ciphers in the studio, but now it's more so like a produced mixtape kind of approach. And we have DJs submit the mixes from around the world, and then we add our 2 cents and put together a 2-hour show, and that's how we do it.
That's so fun. That, I mean, just like thinking about the live show element and having
Yes.
people come through.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of doing something at B-side? Have you been to B-side radio?
No, I haven't. To be honest, like I'm very focused. I know I only have so much time,
Yeah,
and
that's
WeFUNK takes
true.
up all my time, and I'm not trying to
Yeah.
branch out or take on too much kind of thing.
Yeah, that's so fair.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, if ever you needed a space for an added live element,
Right.
like that would be an excellent spot to host.
Right,
and
right.
it's cool, it's sick in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like every time I'm in that spot, it gives that community feel. Like,
Yes.
I also used to have a show back in the day at CITR, and it was with Aero, Armando.
Yes.
He's an MC, and it was called Ninth Wave Radio. So, like, for that short run that we were there, it was so nice to be in the station, and the feeling of actually working out of the station, producing a live mix show is really dope.
Yeah, CITR, man, crazy shout out. Man, you're taking me back. Because CITR, I think Nardwar did
Yes.
training for me when I was in high school.
What do you mean trading for you?
Training.
Oh, there.
Yes.
Okay.
And I did the ad for Sound War '94, that flip out, and I think Checkmate competed in, and Kilo
What
C
was that? Tell me.
It's a cart as a radio ad. It used to be like 8-track tapes. You pop in
Okay.
and run the ad.
Okay.
That's how all the commercials happened on radio.
But what was Sound War? Was that in an event?
Oh, it's one of the legendary kind of hip hop battles. I think they had
Okay.
DJ battle and MC battles.
Sick.
Yeah, in the ballroom, sub ballroom,
UBC.
'94. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, right the year before I moved to Montreal.
Okay.
I was just like, I think I just went there because I was curious what college radio is all about.
Oh, cool. But then you never actually went to have a show there.
No. But I just remember, I think, training day with a really weird guy that turned out to be Nardwar.
Nardwar is one of my biggest inspirations.
Yes, one of
Shout out.
Vancouver's finest.
I mean, he is the one who he had said. What's funny is I had done an interview at the Beaumont,
Right.
like this was last year. And then we came downstairs, and Music BC was hosting an event with Nardwar as the guest speaker. Cool. And our Music BC homies were like, just come in. And then it was such perfect timing because he was going through his archive of like interviews that he had done since UBC days, still doing.
Right.
And one of the things he talked about was this like practice of consistency of like you do a thing and then detach from it and just keep going and doing it, because you never know until you look back like the impact of having just like consistently done something.
Wow.
And that's also like how I feel about these interviews on the show. It's like sometimes they don't always feel like it was on point,
Right.
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like the practice of holding space and sitting down and having a conversation with someone, and then not realizing the impact of what that was like until later.
Yeah, you never know. Like, yeah.
And who would have thought that the person who trained you would become the guy who like literally Tyler the Creator and all these people
Yes.
like love him or are obsessed with him. That's
Small
so
world.
funny.
Yeah. 6
Wow.
degrees.
What would you say? I'm curious to know because, you DJ on this live mix show, which is a completely different process. And then there's DJing for the party and being the party rocker and the sound selector. And then also DJing for the battles.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference for which is your favorite? Or do you like each one?
I
for
like the
different
radio show the
reasons?
most.
Yeah.
By far. Just because there's no, like, because I book all the guests, I correspond with them and try to give them an idea what we're aiming for. I always tell them, like, this is complete freeform radio. Like, there's no dance floor pressure. So you can really go deep with the selection, play unknown songs like album cuts, not just singles, and just get deep. And that's what I enjoy about playing radio. Of course, like, rocking a party is fun too, and it's a different energy. Radio is very selfish because
It's what you like.
yeah, it's a one-way conversation. Pretty much is.
And you're like, and if you don't like it, you can change your frequency.
You know?
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah. So like that's what I love about radio, and like I said, we're blessed because like you can talk loud and no one listens, right? But we're lucky to have it's a small but steady kind of and dedicated listenership. and it's still fun. Like we still get, man, the craziest, like just in terms of how much the radio has touched people is amazing, because we've been invited to DJ a bunch of our listeners' weddings. We don't
Really?
We don't know them.
Yeah.
But they're like, you're like family. I've grown up on you like 10, 15 years. Right? And then the parents make fun of them. They're like, yeah, he's been like, they went from like a nerdy kid in the bedroom just listening to you guys to like this successful whatever, anything, right?
Wow.
And yeah, we've just been very blessed. And those are some of the highlights, because they share the big day of someone's life with, just to share music in that context after just doing radio, right?
Oh my gosh. Can you tell us about a story of like someone you met through doing that, through the show?
Man, one of the first weddings was in Memphis. Jacob Braden, shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy because, man, we had like fried chicken, southern food. We had like these little like record stores that no one knew at the time. It was super early, like going way back. It wasn't like dug through just dusty old record stores in Memphis with soul and stuff.
And that's like a music capital.
Music capital, like Mecca, one of them. It's went to the Stax Museum.
What's that?
Stax is a legendary soul label. And,
yes, that's right.
So Booker T and people like that, Aretha. That was a fun trip. And what a many.
Wow, that's cool. So what you're saying to me is like there's a pressure that you feel when you have to DJ for battles and parties because of the instant human response.
Not even a pressure. It's just the nature of playing party. You want to build up the energy, whereas our goal with the radio is a bit different. We want to expose new music.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about DJing then battles and parties? Personally.
Yeah, I like them, but I still like the radio better. And I'm a homebody, so I like to just do my own thing.
In what way would you say, like, you feel like you've witnessed or seen music be transformative, either on yourself or on others?
Man, transformative. Like for me, it was like just connecting me with a community, both wherever I go, like Montreal, Vancouver, worldwide. Just just being kind of immersed in that community is what music brought me. Especially we haven't talked like for like a 10-year stretch. We really went to Europe a lot. Like they welcome us with open arms. We would do tours like. And just hit a whole bunch of cities, and it's just like nothing but love. It's crazy. It's like going to a new place where you already have family.
Yeah.
Like nothing worried me, because like the families like, I was going to like Moscow. It's like, oh, a travel advisory. You want to go? But I'm like, I'm straight. Like there's people on the ground. Like it's simple
That got
as
your
that.
back.
Yeah.
Wow. What are some of the craziest or most memorable experiences you've been able to do, or in terms of like DJing around the world?
Yeah, I played at this like BMX festival in like this inside this oil drum in Amsterdam.
What is
And
an oil drum?
It was just an arena converted from an oil refinery, kind of.
Whoa!
Yeah. So what's it called?
And that was where, sorry?
Amsterdam. Brought flag
You're
ground.
crazy.
Yeah. And that was, and then they had a live show with Talib Kweli, and then he brought on Sadat X as just a special guest. I think he was just in town.
Oh my god!
Or was it Diamond D? I forget. But that was a fun event. One of the early time, like one of the first times we went on tour too. So I remember that even more. And meeting people from IBE, I think
International
Tyrone
Breaking
and stuff.
Event.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Tyrone.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. And now you have all of that under your belt.
Yeah, and I just, like a lot of these stories are from earlier. I pretty much just do the show from home nowadays, week to week. But still having fun with it. That's the main thing.
Is there anything that you feel is still on your bucket list to achieve within that?
Man, I want to go to Brazil. Because I was in Nomadic Massive, and Lou, shout out Lou Pienza, he's in Sao Paulo. And then, yeah, I've been meaning to get us down there for a long time. It would be nice to do, and I know we got we got a lot of love in Brazil. It's just a matter of we might do it next year for our 30th.
Oh, can you make it a group trip? Like, if anyone wants to come, we're throwing a party this date.
Yes.
And anyone can come. We're not organizing anything. You organize yourselves, but this is where we'll be on this date.
You can host like you did VSDF.
Bro, for real. I actually love this idea because I low-key, high-key have it on my radar. It's like I'm getting signs from the universe. Brazil, Japan.
Right.
Haven't been to any of these places. Italy,
right.
But that's on like I just want to eat.
I had good times.
It's nothing to do with music or anything. Greece and Italy is like just straight up for eating.
Yeah.
Okay, and changing my pants size
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
But anyways, musically speaking, Brazil is crazy. Like the influences, even just learning more about. I guess like the different colonies that have come through, like having a big Italian population,
okay, I didn't know.
And I didn't know that either. But a lot of like different Europeans had fled during World War I or II or something like that.
Right.
So, and there's also like a Japanese population that went to Brazil, like largest Japanese population outside of Japan, more than Vancouver. Wow. So anyway, I love this idea. I support this idea for
let's make it happen.
30th anniversary. When would that be? Like what?
Next year, sometime next year. It all depends.
Yeah.
Nick has a pretty busy schedule. Like depends on when he can take time off.
Yeah, that's a good goal. Yeah, actually, Mike and we know each other originally. Actually, before we met, I was listening to your show when I was in university. Cool. I forgot who put me on or where I heard it from, but it was really like during my time of living in Toronto that I became introduced to like hip hop culture more deeply. At least street dance for sure was like there. And yeah, it's funny because the website's still the same. It's still the orange website. And so like that is something that is like stuck out in my memory. I was like, I remember being on my computer, open up the orange website.
Yes.
And like going through the episodes from at that point going down. I'm like, yo, the archive is already so deep.
Yeah.
Going like 10 years deep at that time. And then eventually meeting you when I moved back here to Vancouver and, started coming out to street dance events here. And then I was like, hey, you're the guy from WEFUNK Radio. I didn't realize that you were here in Vancity.
Right.
And then we were both on Vancouver Street Dance Association together, organizing this big festival. Yeah. And you were DJing it, I was emceeing it. And it was, such a beautiful golden era time of being part of street dance.
And more to come.
And more to come. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's so cool. How do you feel about Vancouver's hip hop community, especially when you moved back after being in Montreal? Like you moved back, I guess, in the early
2009. 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in Montreal for like a solid 15 years or something.
Yeah. It's different. Like street dance was a lot more. Well, less street. Like it was a very friendly battles, good vibes. I'm not mad at that. It's very different from what I saw in Montreal when I came out here.
Yeah, especially during that time.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm asking more in general of in terms of the hip hop community.
Yeah, it's vibrant. There's a lot of things popping off. I can't say I go to all of them myself. There's the hip hop people are conscious of bringing all the elements and representing them. So it's not really much different. There's commercial, there's underground. The underground strong in both cities. From what I see. What
brought you back here?
My folks were getting older. Yeah, my mom passed shortly after I moved back. And that and French. My French was never that good. Yeah, my French was never that good.
Yeah.
I shout out to everyone who's bilingual, who spoke to me in English, so I never learned. No.
Yeah, that's so real.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding, but it's great because in the hip hop community in Montreal, like everyone was bilingual, so they see I'm struggling, they switched to English, and I had it easy. I had it easy.
But it's hard to live there and get a job there if you
That's
don't
it.
speak French.
That's it. So
I lasted 6 months, bro.
Right.
You got 15 years.
yeah,
under your
I did
belt.
music and I worked also part time at McGill English. So lucky.
Yeah. I lasted 6 months, and then I was like, nah, I can't. I just graduated university too,
Right.
so it was like hard to be able to work, you know, and not be able to communicate in my full capacity.
Yeah, I probably could have made a better effort, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm happy here now in Vancouver. I still go back to visit. Like Nomadic had our 20th anniversary. Went back. It was all love. Last September, did a crazy show at Pop Montreal too, and the Pop Montreal started by Dan, who was a programmer after us, like in the mid '90s, and now he's running this big festival. It's been an amazing journey, just like all around. No
So
lie.
wait, backtrack.
Yeah.
You were part of Nomadic Massive?
Yeah, founding member.
I didn't know that. What?
Yeah.
You know why? Because I met them after you had already left.
Right. Yeah.
But that's so cool. Who
Yeah.
were the founding members then?
Like me, Lou, Butter, Alejandro, Wally, Vox.
Wow.
I might be missing. We
Was
rolled deep back then.
Miriam
was
yet?
added. It was Ali's sister. Oh my God, I'm blanking out.
Yeah.
She was there in the beginning. Yeah, it was like really a family affair. We had brother, sister. It was like we went to Cuba. Man, we got our invite. I think it was 2004. Got canceled because of Hurricane Charlie, but we still like stayed the whole time. We just never performed like planned. It was crazy.
Big shout outs to Nomadic Massive.
And Obsession, our host in Cuba, that really got us started.
Yeah, they are a really sick band, comprised of multiple members, multilingual. Like, that was something that really stood out to me when I first heard Nomadic Massive. It was just like, y'all be singing and rapping in French, in Spanish, in English. Creole, like, there's so many flavors, and musically so many flavors. But yeah, we met at Manifesto Festival.
Right.
Which Mans has a hat. I don't even know where my hat is anymore. This festival, when it was around, which was like 2007, 8, 9, to like, up until recently, because I think that they're no longer.
Right.
But when I was in my early 20s, I was doing the video documentation for the festival.
Right.
And got to be around all these like hip hop legends and heroes, and running around with my camera and all my friends, which was so fun. But part of that was meeting Nomadic Massive when they came to perform.
Cool.
And I remember they all entered this one space where I was like, they were such a crew, and I'm like, who are you guys? And they're like, who are you? And then we instantly all became homies.
Yeah.
And then I kept seeing them after that at different shows that they were booked, like in Toronto. They kept being invited back. But yeah, I had no idea. That's so cool that you're a part of that. What are they up to now?
I think down to 4 core members.
Yeah.
It was very unwieldy to have like 10 plus people
Yeah.
in a band.
That's
just
hard.
scheduling, life demands. So yeah, it pared down, but everyone's still fam and cool with each other. Just celebrated big 20th. They still like travel a lot. I think they went to Colombia. They shot an amazing video inside like this old derelict plane. Just like, in the park, in the jungle, kind of looks
What?
like.
I need to look this up. That sounds crazy.
Yeah. Nomadic still being nomadic. Yeah.
Musically speaking, who are you inspired by lately?
Ooh, that's such a big question because
Yeah.
I'm inspired by like 50 years of music. Like every single week we try to get all that in the mix and represent it all fully and not miss out on anything.
Like within the 50-year range?
Yeah. Try to cover a bit of everything, not just be new music focused, old music focused, and just tie it all together and make the connections. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, a cop out. I'm gonna pass on that.
You're like, I can't answer that
Yeah, I
question.
got too much music in my head, as you
Yeah.
probably understand.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is because this whole time I didn't really like make that connect. Like you're really putting me. What I'm trying to say is you're really putting me in your shoes in the world that you live in, musically speaking.
Right.
Where you're like, especially producing a weekly show, you are constantly digging and listening.
Right. Yeah.
And also like the art of the mix is the mixing of and making connections.
Yes.
Like where it tells a story.
Yes.
And I'm, very grateful that I grew up in the era that I got to grow up in, where my clubbing kuyas, the DJs that I saw in Toronto, like Big Jackson Mensa, and, starting from scratch, like these guys where, especially like Mensa era and, Agile, et cetera, these are all DJs I'm name dropping, but like Mensa's mixtapes were, or Neil Armstrong, like also like their mixtapes were such stories, themes, and one flowed into the other, and also included other audio clips like from movies, and obscure things that you're like, what is this? But it was an art form, and I feel like it's not something I see as much anymore. But to grow up where, they were DJing on turntables, Serato, or like also carrying around crates.
Yes.
Versus to today and here and now, like learning off of controllers and USBs, which has its own advantages and makes things more accessible.
Yes,
like a lot of
no
people
doubt.
being able to do that. But I guess, okay. End of rant. My point is, and my question to you is like, with the way that you're seeing DJing evolve, what elements do you think need to like remain true and continue forward, especially as technology has changed the way that people are learning to DJ?
Ooh, man. I think the sound comes first. It's very easy to like listen to waveforms and like you got to trust your ear and train your ear because what you hear, what the audience hears is what you hear. It doesn't matter if like waveforms are matched up or lined up, this and that. And
do you mean visually?
Visually, like the programs now is very easy to mix visually, but just going beyond that into how it sounds and the vibe, whether it meshes. Now it's very like I don't even want to start DJing now because it's so easy to put together a set that's all uniform. There's no dynamic. There's no changes. I was just talking to Rena about this yesterday because she started DJing and just sharing a bit of what I know. Just moving around in tempo, styles, even stuff that might not necessarily be locked in and easy to mix. Like try to make those transitions.
Like more smoother or something.
Yeah, there's that. And but also like moving around tempos. That's long. This is one of my pet peeves.
Can you explain that more?
Like everything because in the crate everything is sorted by tempo.
Right.
So it's easier to stay in one tempo for an hour.
Right.
Unless you're consciously trying to move it around.
And so how do you skillfully do that?
Just be conscious and try to move around. So that like you have higher energy, lower energy, you're just not like just flatline the whole time.
I guess I mean more so like how do you do that?
How do you do that? Like you speed up a song so you can move to a higher kind of level.
Right.
And then keep doing that a couple of songs, you go from like slow song to fast kind of set.
Okay. Yeah. And that's how you build in terms of like building, switching from a slower tempo to a faster tempo and then bringing it back.
Yeah, this is a very this diversion is technical. It doesn't really.
No, I want to know it. I actually want to know the answer to this question.
Yeah. Just variety is good, and just dig deeper. I know that there's a lot of like remixes of classics too, but even those can be played out pretty easily. Like the real test is discovering just new music, whether new or old, that people don't know that is a gem. I think.
How did you train your ear? You know, because you didn't learn off of waveform, like visually looking at waveforms. You had to learn by beat matching with your actual
Yeah, just
ears.
practice. Like, just by playing out a lot. I was like, just playing out a lot, like I was saying. When I was younger, in my 20s, in Montreal, I think that you just get good at it.
Yeah, the other day I was at, I understand DJing in terms of like technically what you are doing, you know?
Right.
And played around with a controller a little bit, played more with turntables, like Tech 12s, and had like one of my first lessons at Table Tutors with Rally.
Right. Shout out Table Tutors.
Yeah, and it came down to like using my ears and learning to train the ears, which is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And I was over at Jamal from B-Side Radio at his place and playing, and like really, like my ears were so confused from what how I could tell what part was faster and which was slower, and then to like match the pitch. Jamal was like, it's a mix of ear training and intuition.
Right,
and I'm like, what? Like, I have good intuition, but like musically speaking, that's kind of hardcore and dope.
Yeah.
And I felt motivated and inspired in that way to learn versus like learning visually first. You know?
Yeah, so that's a solid foundation. Like using your ears, you're off to a good start.
Okay, Vancouver artists music artists wise, that you feel very inspired by.
Ooh.
Because you had to grow up in like Flip Outs era.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna name all the classics, but
Yeah.
you mean now? I thought you meant now.
No, like
When all the Rascals, Swollen members.
did you ever work with any of these guys?
No. Oh man, I remember seeing. The only time I met the Rascals, like back in the day, I was like at Under the Volcano. It's a festival in North Van, kind of like activism and music. Oh, well, you're taking me back. It just
Well, that's
Rascals,
good.
yeah. Those are the main ones that come to mind. I'm sure I'm missing others. Yeah.
Were there any other notable, festivals or events that took place in Vancouver that should get like locked down in the archives?
Yeah, no. For me, the main thing, Crispy Biscuit for me is really important, and that kind of I think ties in with G-Man and Risk too.
Yes.
They threw parties back then, but I left pretty shortly after. Crispy Biscuit for me is like the start and the end of everything.
Did
Music.
you ever meet them?
Yeah. QOC's done mixes on WeFunk.
Okay.
Yeah, he played at Calabash with us a little while back too. Yeah.
Whoa, that's amazing. I feel like I definitely want to hear some of these tapes at some point and dig those out.
Yeah, we should digitize them.
Yeah.
Put them online.
So as you know, this show is Vancity Beats, Eats, and more. And I brought you some treats. These are from, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so these are from a Greek bakery that is on Broadway near Bayswater, Balaclava, one of those streets that start with a B. It's called Parthenon, and it's amazing. They have such a sick deli. I had like a pita wrap earlier today, and we've got our good Greek classic of spanakopita, and this one I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like the phyllo pastry filled with the feta cheese.
Sure is good.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Greece? You like Greek food?
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. We went during the financial crisis. It was like protests in the
2008?
streets. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
We went to Athens.
What was happening over there at that time?
It was just like the promoter, he was driving us around like every street we wanted to take. There would be, we got to turn around. It was wild, but it was still good times.
Yeah.
We played so hard. Like I think the waitress came up to the booth and say, the people are like knocking my drinks down when I bring them out. Like take it easy. Like
Whoa!
we're playing like it's just like rah rah like boom bap like MOP anti up type joints all night, and it was just crazy.
Like she's like, y'all need to calm down because I can't do my job.
Yeah, I don't even know if she was serious, but that was funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my friends are in Greece right now, and that's part of why I decided to go for this bakery, because I'm like, I'm so jealous of all you're eating.
Right.
Like, I think feta cheese might be my favorite kind of cheese. Do you have a favorite kind of cuisine?
Ooh, man, I like ramen a lot. A lot, so I'm in the right city, in Vancouver. But they stopped doing those, like, the eating contests.
What eating contest?
Like, if you can eat 10 bowls, it's free, kind of thing.
You want to be up for the challenge?
Yeah, I'm still up for it. I never got a chance to do it. I always wanted to.
Oh my gosh, I think you should instigate that, and that become like a WEFUNK marathon, food marathon of some sort.
Yeah. For a good cause.
Yeah. Speaking of which, CKUT is still fundraising right now. They're doing the fund drive.
Yes, annual funding drive. So CKUT.ca. We got treats for the people. We're so lucky this year. We got a custom hockey jersey, WeFUNK custom jersey, and
I put in my donation for under your guys' show because I want a chance to win this. And obviously support community radio.
Yeah, no, CKUT's been our home parent station since '96. CKUT.ca it's a really good station that really brings the community together, and it's like mind-blowing, especially for like younger programmers. Like we started there at first year university, just exposed us to so much music, culture, perspectives, politics, just everything.
That is what I love about college radio, for sure.
Yeah,
it's like I like how you're like saying like it's a selfish space to make music, or share music because it is what you like.
Yeah.
And I think that's the dopest part about creating the show is because then you have all these different people and their different concepts for shows.
Yes.
And that they're all in one meeting place where they can connect with one another and exchange.
Yeah. It's just completely wild. Folk music people who specialize in old jazz, like different cultural communities, Korean, I think Haitian, just a bit of everybody.
Yeah. So annually they do the fund drive to keep the radio show going. If you go on that website right now, you're able to actually click where you want, like which radio show you want to support. And if you hit WeFUNK, then your name goes into a pool for a draw for the jersey.
Yes.
Slash possible other things like a hat. And
there's a hat and a hockey jersey. It's all custom, made by like longtime WeFUNK listeners that are pitching in, like just giving back. So yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, last year was a Letterman jacket, was it?
Yeah.
That jacket
that was crazy.
Right, that's the picture. That's the jacket he's wearing in his profile, or the photo that we used for the artwork.
Right. Shout out to Huck. Yeah, in Atlanta.
And so this is the same guy who's making the jersey.
Yeah, he's been coming through like I think the third year now. He did custom Air Force Ones last
year.
What?
Yo, that's tight.
Yo, I don't know if I can say this. He just supplied the whole like Mary J. Blige tour like dancers. With jerseys.
What?
Yeah, so he's doing good work.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, have you met her?
No.
I'm just gonna keep asking who he's met. Shall we?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the spinach first.
I'll do the other.
Phyllo pastry, flaky and messy.
Proper. It's
proper, good. Not too salty. The feta is good.
Not really a food critic, so I just like it.
You're like, whatever you put in front of me, I will eat. I learned from, because season 2, we were cooking a lot on the show. I don't know if you saw that, like I did an episode with Meja One. She was visiting.
Okay.
And Meja One has her own marinade of jerk marinade she developed called suka sauce. Except with this marinade, it's made with like peppers because she couldn't get Scotch bonnet peppers. They only grow in Jamaica and the Caribbean. But she made like a hybrid pepper from a pepper from Borneo that's like a Scotch bonnet. So this is the Southeast Asian version of jerk marinade, you know? Anyway, it's called suka sauce. And on the show, we made Rasta Asian fusion pasta.
Wow.
Where it was, so in regular Rasta pasta, you could use penne, and you're doing a red, green, yellow pepper. You're doing jerk seasoning and, you know, some cream and chicken, right? Our version we did to make it Asian fusion is we used 3 different kinds of Asian mushrooms, like shiitake, enoki, and like maybe king oyster, I think. And then we did, instead of pasta noodles, we used like ramen, like udon or ramen. Oh, I can't remember which one it was. But it was an Asian noodle and coconut cream into the mix with her suka sauce. And it was delicious. I went on a complete side tangent because I was just talking about food. My point is, back then we were cooking a lot on the show. And yeah, I had to learn that you have to like talk about what you're eating. Like people are watching right now, they have no idea what this tastes like, what it smells like. So you have to like use words.
Right.
I'm just giving you a little one-on-one on hosting. You know,
It's like showing a graph on a podcast. Right?
You're just like, no, just eat it. It's so good.
Well, the sign of a good meal is silence. Sometimes.
Yeah, that is good. I'm like, how did they discover phyllo pastries? The Greeks, you know? I also brought sweet. It's more phyllo pastry.
Okay.
These are for you, Sean and Claire, by the way. Y'all get to have some of this afterwards. So this is dessert. This is sweet. This is called a MILF. I don't know if... Okay, Sean. Had to laugh there. Okay, and I've never seen this before, so we're definitely going to try this. It's a chocolate baklava.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've seen regular baklava, but not with chocolate, fam.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, this is very rich. I feel like it's like oozing out of its body.
Really? Uh-oh.
No, it's
Hold
good.
on. Get another napkin here.
Yeah, I'm going to one bite this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's really good with chocolate. Wow. And the inside has honey and pistachio.
It's everything.
That's excellent. Parthenon Food Market Cafe, Greek, Broadway. That's what's up. Do you have a favorite kind of like pastry?
Man.
Or dessert?
Almond croissants from the Montreal days. Just like, yeah, so many different places had good ones.
Everywhere. You know what I love about croissants over there? They're cheap. None of this like $6, $7 business.
Yeah, everything was back. Yeah, it's a time and place thing.
Back then, yes. But also still now for a regular croissant,
Yep.
it's going to be like $2.50 or $3 or something.
So bad in here. Yeah.
I feel like, you know, in some places where it's just like their market item,
Right.
to them it's like, yeah, of course it's going to be cheap. It's a croissant. Versus here, it's like a specialty. That's why it costs $6, $7.
Yeah. No, like since the pandemic, like honestly, we've been just cooking a lot more, just eating at home. It's like a new chapter.
What do you like cooking?
I love ramen, but I make a fake ramen. So it's not legit ramen, but it does the job for me.
Claire's like, I like it.
She likes it.
How do you do your ramen?
It's got some miso, it's got some ground sesame, but the broth is not like a slow, time-consuming one. It's got, I start with some ground pork, a lot of ginger, garlic, and the broth is pretty much from that. There's no slow cooking anything.
Yum.
But I can make that pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize that you don't need to make instant noodles the way it says on the package. You know, like I'll never forget illuminating one of my non-Asian friends with like how you soup up the soup.
Ooh, yes.
You know, like I put some sesame oil, I put some red chili pepper flakes or red chili oil. You know, I crack an egg in there.
Oh, you can get
some green onions, put some spinach for your greens. That's it.
Yeah.
It's already elevated.
There's no end to how much you can elevate instant noodles. It's like, for sure.
What's your favorite brand that you usually get?
Oh, when I was talking about, it's not instant noodles. Actual ramen I was talking about.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
not elevated instant noodles. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I was talking about making like full ramen, just not proper technique.
Okay, as in like taking hours to make the broth.
Yeah.
Got it. Yum.
Yeah, but I like instant noodles too. We get a fair bit of that.
That's amazing. So, it's almost been an hour. It's been dope to hear a little bit more, especially like deeper into WEFUNK roots, where you've come from, how you've arrived here. And yeah, I'm really excited about the possibility of Brazil next year.
Wow,
bro.
you're telling me? Yeah, I would love to make that happen.
Yeah, and if you definitely do need a host or an MC.
Yes.
That would be sick. Someone to help organize and bring people together, because that would be a sick party.
You do that every time, everywhere you go, you do a lot of that, and I see that.
Where would you, which city would you want to do it in?
I don't know that many cities. You're like testing my geography.
Of Brazil?
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's only, like, I only know really like Rio.
But it's so big, there's like so many cities, I'm sure. But yeah, I know.
Somewhere with a beach. If anyone has recommendations out there, doesn't need to be in any of the major big cities, but in Brazil, if anyone has any recs on somewhere by the water and good weather.
Wow, yeah.
You know?
Sounds pretty good.
And the good food.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for
you.
your time, for your stories, and also like all your contributions to not just Vancouver, but like Canada, the world.
No, it's
holding down like a very, important, I think, era of music. Like you just said, like you try to span all 50 years in each episode, and with the different guests that you bring on board, and like. I hope that it continues on for like decades more.
We're in too deep to stop. Like at this point, like
Can't stop, won't stop.
can't. Yeah.
Any last things you want to say or put out there into the world before we close our live stream?
No, thank you for the opportunity. Like I don't do a lot of interviews. I usually let the music do the talking, but it's nice to revisit like different chapters with you as we. Like head towards the 30th. It's nice to kind of look back, a nice look back.
Oh, I forgot I did want to ask you something actually.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you now. Because right now I've been really interested in like within an artist and a creative's journey, they cross certain thresholds or hit certain milestones for themselves personally.
Yeah.
Like for me, for example, I feel like when I got to MC Van Street Dance Fest, that was a milestone for my own personal growth and creative growth, and like a moment that I felt very witnessed and a sense of belonging within the community.
Yes.
Like, what would you say that those moments were for you in your music and creative journey? Like a crossing of a threshold or feeling.
I think maybe our first tour abroad. I think we were flown to Switzerland for just one gig. Early in our career, and that was pretty amazing. I think we also like luck played. We were just super lucky. Like iTunes Radio when it was like popping up, like first starting in the early 2000s, we got added to the radio directory, and that's how we started getting feedback. But before it was a local Montreal FM show, so no feedback except like. At our time slot too, just really crazy people. Like
4 a.m.
Yeah. When we got listed in iTunes, we started hearing, I think, from all over. Like started hearing from Brazil and Japan. There's places we didn't know even listened to us, and then that really cracked it open. Like all the weddings are very, I really appreciate those. And the just guest mixes week to week. It's not like nothing big, like a milestone, but just the fact that there's support enough to have a really dope guest every week that listens to the show and want to pitch in. That means a lot.
I love that. It's like the small moments, you know, but they're actually big.
Yeah.
In incremental ways. Dope. Well, thank you,
Yeah,
Static,
thank you.
for being here. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in, who watched the show. Shout outs to Parthenon once again for the yummy eats. And to Sean and to Claire for also being here. Y'all have been watching Vancity Beats Eats.
Oh my God.
Come on, Mike! Y'all have been watching Vancity Beats Eats.